All right, all right. Hey, what's up, Queen? How you doing?
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
Ah, we've had better days. We've had
Yes,
better days.
been a lot going on.
Been a whole lot going on. I'm gonna start off with the positive, though. I will say this: the event itself, aside from certain circumstances that unfortunately occurred, the event itself was actually pretty good. It had a really good turnout, and like I said, for the most part, it was a fairly positive situation.
Okay, you
You
jumping right
know.
in. You got to give some context to the people. So Saturday there was a
Okay.
party, right?
Right. So Saturday, the street friends have like what you would call a floor crawl. So basically, a floor crawl is when everybody, they just decorate their rooms. You can
Mm,
go from room to room, checking out the situations and whatever the case may be.
that sounds fun.
So, huh?
That sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dope concept. It's definitely a dope concept, and you know, um, a lot of people seem like they was into it. People were having a good time, you know, partying, the hallway was lit. There was no crazy smoking situations or nothing like that. Like things was really under control for the most part for the duration of the event. So the event itself went well. Like, there was food, people was able to eat. You know what I'm saying? There was somebody selling some toys there, so somebody wanted to, spice it up a little bit. They had some options. It was nice. It was really a nice. It was a nice situation.
Now, how was the crowd? Are these people that you recognize? People that
Oh no, there was
are in
definitely
the
people I reckon.
scene?
There was a
Okay.
lot of people I recognized there, of course. Um, I will say the crowd was actually pretty sexy. I seen some new blood there from the ladies. Hey, what's up, y'all? That was actually fairly sexy and stuff too. So, I mean, as far as that goes, I feel like it was a nice ratio of ladies and gentlemen. Like it was really balanced. It didn't feel like there was too many girls and not enough men,
Oh,
or too
good.
many men and not enough girls. Like it felt really balanced. Obviously, there was more women than men, but it still felt really balanced. So it was a good situation. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, all of that, all in all, like I said, all in all of that was cool. And I feel like we, did good in that aspect. But then, what's up, Malcolm? What's up, Christy? Hey, Joy. You know,
Hey, everybody.
it's just one of those things where, of course, you got good and then you got the bad bullshit.
Right.
And unfortunately, we are gathered here today more focused on the bad bullshit than the good shit. I don't even have my music playing in the background. I don't plan on really doing any heavy promo today or nothing like that. This is just about discussing the situation because, good evening, Jonathan. One of the things I want to say is this took too fucking long. I have,
What you took
I did,
from?
I'm gonna get to this. I'm
Okay.
prepared. I'm prepared. I have some stuff.
Okay. You got to tell the people what you're talking about.
Nah, I got this. See, y'all gotta love when Queen's on here because she be kicking my ass. She be on my case, boy. Hey, Izzy, what's up? Kimberly, hey, how you doing? All right, so this is where we at with this, right? Now, what I'm pulling up now is screenshots that I have of different people in their account with the individual whose name I won't say for legal purposes. But everybody knows who it is, and this is an individual who finally seems to have a community-wide ban issued on them.
Well,
Now, Queen,
there was an incident after the party
yeah,
that this
yes,
individual was involved with, right?
Thank
Okay.
you. I'm a little irritated with this, so pardon me. Thank you, Queen. You got to pardon me because I had to deal with this shit. And it's just anyway. So basically, like she said, there was an incident that happened where an individual, without consent, had intercourse with another individual, and the thing is that other individual wasn't even of consensual mind to grant consent to allow that to happen.
That's terrible.
And from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing with this evidence, as far back as 2015, he was kicked out of an event
That's a long time.
for releasing himself. You know, we on YouTube, so I can't say crazy shit. But for releasing himself on another individual's facial area without consent
Mm.
while they were playing or doing whatever the hell. He wasn't even playing. Wasn't even involved. He just was doing his own thing. And here's my thing. And this is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to start this off with this. This is a failure of all of us as a community that this guy has been allowed to walk until from 2015
Right.
till 2025. All the different events that this individual has went to, and none of y'all cared to fucking share the information.
Well, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So apparently there are some other dynamics at play. This individual would start new social media personas using different names, things like that. But also, I think we should address the fine line that coasts are have to walk, right? Something gets reported to you and it could be hearsay, or something is reported to you and you don't have any proof. Something is reported to you and there's something you should do about it, but short of broadcasting it, where does the responsibility fall? I think we should talk about that. I think group hosts
Here's
and
the thing.
owners have to keep people safe.
Here's the thing. If it was only that, I would say fair enough.
Right.
But that's only page one. There's another episode where he was chased out with a knife because he tried to violate somebody's wife at an event after he dived into a play session that he was not invited into. And that dude wasn't having it. We have other situations where he's violated Hito. This guy is so infamous that even in a group that isn't even fully LS, you know which group I'm talking about on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's only LS friendly. Even they said that at Hito, this dude was known to do some creepazoid shit.
Oh wow.
So there's enough evidence that if there was organization and communication succinctly throughout the community, that just like we did, just like Zuri created that flyer and put the band on it and shared it, and we shared it all over the universe. This should have happened like fucking 10 years ago.
Well, I had a guy reach out to me and say that he knew the guy was a problem. And I agree with you. I think it's a failure across the board. Because at what point do you say something?
That's my point.
When is it someone's job to say something?
And that's my point. Is that this is one of those situations where I'm not making no excuses for nobody. Because the way I see it is I know, like I have counseled people that are in this community. I have had people confide in me with stuff that I will take to my grave. And my whole thing is with all the information that I have up in my head, the multiple times that I've heard things about people that are no longer around or whatever the case may be, this person who has been at least 10 years or better carrying the fuck on was allowed to just come up in here and I had no clue.
Right.
The other staff on Discreet Friends did not know. If we knew, I would have Jazzy Jeffed his ass out the door. I said that shit the week before. If somebody does some fuck shit, that I will Jazzy Jeff their ass out the door myself. Or if they want to get rowdy, I will put them to sleep and tie them to a chair so the authorities take their ass away. Right. Either way, there's no way in hell that this individual would have been at that event and stayed there long enough to do some shit when he did.
Right.
This only happened because there's a failure to communicate, because a lot of us as a collective don't realize this community, this whole thing is a fucking it's a gift. I'm forgetting the word for that because, like I said, I'm irritated right now. But privilege. This whole thing is a privilege.
Right.
So this whole thing being a privilege, we have to treat it like such. We have all these women here who are in vulnerable positions. And I know that the guys can end up there too, but for the most part, the percentage is way higher on the women experiencing these things.
Right.
And the thing is we are not doing our job if we are not sharing this information, telling us a bunch of stories. Listen, I have 6 pages of stories.
Well, sharing information is one thing. We also have to make it safe for women to share their experiences as well. A lot of times people don't speak up.
That's the point. But the thing is, there are multiple times me and my co-host, who's normally here, Nova, she's not feeling well today, so she's not on. And
Feel
Queen's
better,
on here with
Nova.
me.
Feel
You know what I'm
better.
saying? She might peek on here laying in the bed, but her voice is kind of shot. So
Oh no.
anyway, but here's the thing, is that me and Nova have literally talked about this just a couple of weeks ago. And it has been put out there about there being safe spaces, about if something happens, who you can come to. I've even put it out there for myself and said, if I'm at an event, you can come to me. Other women have. There are a few women who did that at this event, who they felt uncomfortable and they came up to me and they chilled with me for a minute, whoever it was that was bothering them fucked off. You understand what I'm saying? And they went about their business. But my whole thing is that y'all have to say something when this is happening. If you don't say anything, or if you see somebody that is known to be a problem, you don't got to run up to him and punch him in the face, but you could come up to one of us and be like, yo, I don't know why that guy's here, but I just want to put you on. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not blaming no victims on this, Kimberly. This ain't no victim's fault. We ain't doing that on here.
Oh, absolutely not.
We're not doing that because it is not your fault that somebody decided to help themselves to something they didn't have a right to help themselves to.
Oh, I think Kimberly is saying people don't feel safe because of victim shaming, which happens a lot.
No, she's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right.
Well,
she's
why didn't you do this? So why didn't you stop? Or why didn't you call for help? Or why didn't you? And it's like,
right.
Why didn't this bad actor, this asshole, not do that? That's what.
And that's why I'm putting the accountability on us as a community.
Right.
That we have this information. Seeing 15 different posts about this shit, and everybody has 1,000 stories, but no way, no how has this information come across our staff, which is throwing the fucking event. That is a problem. That is a failure to communicate.
Well,
and there's, go ahead, because I have something I want to do about that. But go ahead.
Finish your thought.
No, you're good. You're good, but I want to hear your thoughts. Please, I need you.
Well, I also think it's important to consider, like, what's the role of vetting when it comes to who's coming to the party? Because you said the staff didn't know about this individual, didn't know about the stories. Like, how much responsibility is it for hosts to get to know the patrons, to understand, ask for references, or I don't know if this person came alone or with someone. What's the role that you see playing in all of that, and when it comes to furthering safety and protecting people too?
And the problem is when it comes to smaller events, it's easier to use that filter.
Yeah.
But when it comes to bigger, like I said, this event blew up. It was supposed to be a 1-floor crawl, but so many of the members of the group were requesting rooms that we expanded damn near 2 extra floors.
Oh wow!
So half the hotel was like us when it wasn't even supposed to be all that. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing is that with all of that being said, it was one of them situations where it's very easy for somebody to slip through the cracks. But if we have a specific name, we have picture of a person, and we have an organized list called a ban list that we have because we all share these information with each other. That makes it easy so that even if you have 500 people coming to an event, I'm scanning through it. I see a name that is on that ban list. They get kicked right off that shit. They not coming. They not allowed. Security is made aware of who this person is because they can change their name all you want, but I got pictures. So we see you, you're not coming in, period. And to make it even better, we can even make a poster with motherfuckers' pictures on a ban list at the event. So if they walking on, guess what? Nari Nova's not feeling well today. Her voice is kind of out, so she's laying in the bed, probably nursing herself right now.
No, we hope she.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she will be back just now. Hopefully, she gets well soon. Though, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we wanted to come on and do this anyway because this is very important to all of our safety.
It's an
because
important topic.
You know, but let me say this. I have a proposal which I want to extend. And I want to know what you think about this too, Queen, because you know I value your opinion a lot.
All right.
Even though we be talking shit to each other, you know it's all love. But anyway, I want to form an LS committee. A representative from each LS group that is in existence. You cannot perform as an LS group in the LS community if the LS committee does not approve you by popular vote. And for everybody that's involved, and for everybody, and it has to be official applications, very organized. And for everybody that's involved, your obligation is to share information. You listen, and this isn't about affecting a capitalism. If y'all both want to throw events on the same day, that's your business. We don't care about that. This is about creating an environment of succinct safety, creating an environment of information that can be passed around, that stuff that's important. If it's an unsafe area, let's say it's a promoter that tends to scam, not a promoter, let's say it's a venue that tends to scam people. Let your other people know so they don't get scammed too. You understand what I'm saying? Things so like
safety,
that.
A committee focused only on safety.
Yes. Focused on safety of the community and protecting the community at large. So I feel like we need one of these because the LS is getting too big. We have an internet where this shit is going to blow up. People complaining, oh, back in the days when you just had the, you know, we all remember the secret password days if you're old enough. My whole thing is that those days is over. This is the age of information. This shit is out here. The tube, the top is already off of the tube with toothpaste. So
we do need some type of centralized vehicle to share information. From my experience, most LS hosts are not all that collaborative. So how do we get over that hurdle of making sure
well, here's the thing. They're going to get over it because if they want to operate and be known as because this is the way it's going to work. And this is where you people as the patrons have to hold accountable. Right. If a LS group owner is not LS committee approved and you decide to go there, you're putting yourself at risk. So you'll understand that any groups that are approved by the LS committee, they're all sharing information. So if there's any banned people that are anywhere in that community, amongst any of the ones involved, they're all going to know about it because they're all going to have the same information, the same database. They're going to communicate with each other. So y'all have to not support these groups that refuse to collaborate. So they can still operate. This isn't the mob. So, you know, if they still want to be out there and do what they want to do, that's fine. But what I say is don't support any groups that don't want to be a part of the committee. Because everybody that believes in safety for all that are coming out to these events should be more than happy. It's not going to cost you any money. Nobody's asking you for no money. It's just a collective to share information.
Well, there's an Instagram account. I don't know if you follow it. I can't think of the name of it. I'll find it. But it's based in New York, and they share reviews of parties. Have you seen this?
I've seen that. I've seen
So
that.
I think people are making efforts, I think, to share more information. But it's also, I think the committee has to be careful about being too subjective, right? Because somebody has an axe to grind against someone, or, there's infighting or whatever. So as long as there are rules that everyone follows and understand, like, okay, this is a ban list of who we have and why, and it's transparent, it's a step in the right direction, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it couldn't hurt to
Yeah.
give it a shot and see how it rocks, because what we're doing now is leaving too many holes for
Yeah.
vulnerability. Too many people are getting exposed. Too many things are happening. There are things I know that I can't say, where I will say this much: there's a lot more happening than you think. And see, somebody else is putting up a comment. I want to put this up.
Okay. What are they saying?
I'm gonna put it up here. Damn, my phone's faster than Facebook because it came up on the phone first. All right. So, all right. So basically, 17 years ago, my female friend taught me to speak up immediately. Unfortunately, I was violated royally once as a newbie. Literally at the event, I told my friend, she grabbed my hand, and we walked immediately to security, and the dude was banned in my area. Speak up. We all know because of
Right.
our open sexuality, bad things can happen. So it should be just as accepted to report unethical sexual behavior that you see right there and then. And that's
Absolutely.
valid. Now,
Yeah.
I will say this to be fair, because of the shaming that was mentioned before, often people are nervous or shy to share things
Right.
because they don't want people to judge them. They're still going through it. Like, to be violated like that is like the worst.
Yeah, you could be in shock.
So
So
it
yeah.
takes a minute to wash that. You understand what I'm saying? And some people never get over it, and they have the right to never get over it because that's something that should never happen. But unfortunately, it does. And the thing is this committee, I think, will be a step in the right direction to stop it.
Well,
And
I also think the committee needs to have a code of ethics or, decorum for people that are throwing events. I've never
yes,
been to a lifestyle party and the next day a host reached out, hey, how did you have a good time? Was there anything that made you feel uncomfortable? Let me know. So we've seen online people complaining like, okay, a lot of hosts are
mhm,
just here for the money. If we're going to cultivate a community of safety, we have to put not our money where our mouth is, but we have to back that up with behavior as well.
right,
Everything can't just be the onus on someone that was victimized. It has to be
right,
a safe space that's cultivated and created by people that are hosting as well. So they have a
mhm,
responsibility too. Check on people. If you know someone's the first time at your party or the first time you met them, check on them after the party. Check on them, when you invite them to the next party. Don't just spam them with flyers. So there has to also just be this expectation of how we expect hosts to show up and treat people to make sure that they
exactly,
feel comfortable speaking up.
mhm, and that's very important.
Yes.
But that's what's beautiful about this LS committee idea is it can also function as a think tank because we can all learn from each other to make it better overall for the community.
Right.
See how you come up with that? You represent a sector, you have your own people. You would obviously be a part of that where you could share an idea like that. Somebody else might come, they might have another idea that maybe you didn't implement that you could look and say, oh shit, that's a good idea. I'm gonna use that. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We
Well,
can
I mean,
feed off of each other.
I agree. I agree. My group's pretty small, but one thing that I do is I give people probation calls. So if I see something weird behavior happening online, because if you're going to be a weird online, you're going to be weird in person. If you make
Mhm.
people uncomfortable online, you're going to make people uncomfortable in person. So I'll reach out to people and say, hey, you're doing this. This is how it's affecting the vibe. This is how it's making people feel. I'm making you aware of your behavior so that you can course correct. And if they
Mhm.
don't, they get kicked out. I don't need their money. I think we should all put safety first. And of course, everyone has their
Yes.
quirks. Not everyone's going to get along. But if someone
Mm-hmm.
is impacting the group dynamic and making people feel uncomfortable, they have to go.
Right.
If you know, as soon as you notice it, I think they should get kicked out right then and there. So
And here's the
I
thing,
feel
y'all. Listen, this is very important. Make sure that y'all share this around because this is something that I need all of these group owners to hear. And operating as a neutral territory as TSX does, because I am not throwing any event. I might affiliate myself in an event here and there, but I will tell y'all, I don't have the room in my life to start hosting LS events. It's a lot of work. So only
yeah,
way I'm hosting it is as affiliating with the Street Friends or whatever else. I'll just affiliate myself with people as they might need my help or want me to do something. But my whole thing is that right here is neutral territory, which is why if y'all want me to, I'd be more than willing to host on that shit because I'm a neutral party. I don't have a dog in the fight on any of these lanes. I just want this community to be safe. There are too many people that I care about that are in this community, and I'm not going to say because we on camera, but I have a way that I might react, and I don't want to have to react that way. So to avoid those situations, because I'm a father and I can't afford to be caught up in bullshit,
we don't want
I
that.
would like things to operate in a safe and healthy manner, and we need to work together in order to make this happening. It is a fucking embarrassment to every single, and I don't care. I know what you said, Queen, but I'm not being forgiven. You want forgiveness? Go find Jesus. My whole thing is every single group owner that ever banned this motherfucker but didn't pass the word, you
Yeah,
fucking failed. All of you. Every
yeah,
single victim that happened after you, that is on your hands because you didn't say anything to somebody else because maybe you don't like the way that the cut of their jib or whatever else. Fuck that shit. That could have been your sister, your daughter, or somebody else that ends up being that victim too.
yeah,
This is somebody that has been acting like this for over a decade. And y'all let this shit fucking slide. Banning at your event is not good enough. You see what happened? Finally, when he got a real ban, it was all over the place.
right.
This is the first time I ever seen his face on anything being banned in all the years I've been on Facebook. So that means y'all all fucked up. It is crazy to me that anybody would think it's okay. That we have motherfucking, I told you, just a little bit of shit that my girlfriend got for me in 10 minutes, 6 pages of information.
Yeah, that's insane.
6 different, at each story a different story. Not one story was a repeat.
Right.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
And that happens because all of y'all need to get out of your fucking feelings. Or how about this? We don't fuck with none of y'all and we could all do our own things on our own time and then none of y'all make money. Fuck that. Because it ain't hard to put a little gathering together with some friends and have a little whatever experience. That's what we used to do before it became all of this. But instead, y'all sat around with your hands in your pockets, said, well, it's not my problem, so I ain't gonna worry about it. And
Okay,
watch them
so
go to the next thing.
you bring up a good point. So this connects to what I was saying about the code of ethics. So there are obviously group owners that knew he was a problem, didn't say anything, or even in some cases continue to let him come to their parties after they knew things. So is this ban list going to extend to, there's some hosts that we're going to warn you about, or is that you're saying if you're not a part of the committee, you're not approved? That's how you see it work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Meaning you can still throw events because, like I said, this ain't the mafia.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that as patrons, and I'm talking to all the people in LS right now, that's why I want everybody to hear this. Do not support events that are not LS committee approved because they do not value your safety enough to want to collaborate with the other group owners that are willing to share.
Right. Okay. I think
That's
that's
the
the point.
point. Because they're saying that all they care about is your money and not your safety. And the safety is the first and foremost. Hell, the amount that was charged for the last event, the Discreet Friends event, that wasn't even no profit. That was just to cover food and other little bullshit. It was like $40 a person. You understand what I'm saying? It was literally just to celebrate a couple of birthdays and have a good time. And people had a lot of fun. But the whole thing is that all of that gets overshadowed when we allow people like this to roam around. And the reason why I'm so angry is because I take that shit very personally.
Right.
As a
I mean, we all
person,
should we
I'm
all
not
should be
getting
angry about
paid.
it.
No, but the thing is, I'm not getting paid to be security. But I tell people, even if you don't know me, I'm the easiest person to find in an event because I'm taller than everybody. You see me at an event and you feel uncomfortable, you come to me. I'm not trying to fuck you at that moment. It's one thing if you are interested, we want to play, then cool, that's whatever for later. But if you're just feeling unsafe, you could come chill. Like I had a whole room where you could easily just duck in there and go chill. Ain't nobody gonna bother you. Ain't nobody walking in on no dumb shit.
That's
And
good.
it's just pissing me off because my whole thing is we need more people on this timing.
Right.
There's not enough men on this timing.
Men don't
Like,
want
I'm
to speak up
sorry.
either. Men don't
No,
speak up
but,
enough either.
and I'm going to say this, and I'll say this. I know Mel will agree with me because he another dude. He ain't beat for no pussy either. As a man that is not beat for no pussy, I am not so thirsty that I got to fucking duck and slide and do all this crazy shit or not want to be a protector because I'm afraid it might throw off my numbers or some other bullshit. Yo, let me tell you something. Men, we have to, as a collective, if we know that that dude is no good, even if nobody else knows, you come to the staff of whatever group that is and you let them know, even if he's done nothing tonight, you let us know and we will handle that accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
These things need to happen. And yeah, Mel's right. He do need to get banned from Hito too, because there's another story on one of the other pages where he was in Hito violating.
Oh
This
man.
dude's an international fuck up.
Yeah, that's insane. And Mel is also saying all money ain't good money. That is true. It's really not.
But the thing is, it's on us as a community, much like anything else. Money talks, bullshit runs the marathon. If you want shit to be different, you have to talk with your dollars. You have to go to the events that are going to value your safety even more than your money. Because if they are not doing that, then they should not be in operation and they should not be supported. Let them have 5 people there.
Well, we have a comment on that. If the host doesn't make enough effort to get to know you before you come to their party and the party seems more money driven, single ladies don't go. I would say any ladies don't go. That's good guidance. And you can
Here's
tell
the thing, but the
when
only problem with
parties.
that is that works until you talk about a hotel takeover. Nobody's going to be able to get to know individually a couple of hundred people. Like that's a lot.
Well, you start a chat or you start a group.
Yeah,
People
there is a
reveal
group,
themselves. People
but
reveal
the groups are
themselves easily.
big. But the groups are big too. Like there's a few groups. Like if you look at certain groups like BLX, Missy King's group, fucking Discreet Friends. These groups have like 1,000 people in there.
I'm talking about the people that are coming to that particular event. There weren't
Oh yeah,
1,000
well
people at that event.
there are individual chats for that, but sometimes, for example, there's still ways where it's still somebody could get by. Like for the example, somebody could be bringing a +1, and the person that bought the tickets was somebody that's valid, and in the group they just happen to be friends with somebody who's a fuck up. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, he hasn't admitted that his friend's a fuck up. So he brings the friend there. But much like even in the old LS, that's how you used to get into a party is somebody vouched for you.
Right.
And the thing is, somebody can still be vouched for And we'll think like he could have been vouched for. He walks on in, and then lo and behold, we don't know that he's banned from 8 other groups because of bullshit. That's why this committee is so important because somebody could vouch for them and they could still be somebody that's known because there's 6 degrees of separation. So it's very easy for somebody to still slip through those cracks if we don't have a solid database of
Right.
information where everybody can uniformly pull from.
But you still have to make it harder, right? Like requiring a reference or making sure you have everybody's government name or I don't
We had
know,
everybody's
but
government names on there because there was a
okay.
list.
I don't want us to focus the conversation solely on what happened this incident, right? Because there are
Yeah.
safety topics broadly across the LS community. So I'm just
Hmm.
speaking in broad terms, not like what should have, could
No,
have,
I
would
know
have
what you
happened with
mean.
this incident.
Hmm.
But I think putting barriers in place, nothing is fail safe, but making it harder
Yeah.
for people to slip through the cracks, I think should be a focus of the committee too. Like, for example, I've realized 2 people in my chat, my group, had really long rap sheets. Crimes against women, assault, battery, domestic violence, all this stuff. And so if someone hadn't flagged that for me and I didn't look into it, they would have been mixed in with the group. So I'm even thinking about,
Hmm.
okay, there's software out there where you can put somebody's name and you can see if they have committed crimes, been arrested, been convicted, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's maybe a bit extreme, but
Hmm.
extreme measures call for extreme, results call for extreme measures because it's
And
like
you know what? And you
how
know
air
what? It's
you got to
gonna.
keep it airtight.
It's probably going to take a lot more work, but it's something that's definitely going to have to be something we look at for future
Yeah,
events as far as any events that are being thrown with any group. I'm not speaking for any group in particular, but for
right.
anybody that's throwing an event, we really are going to have to up those filters. And the
Yeah,
thing is, and the thing is, even with all that security in place, people can still slip through the cracks, which
yeah.
is why
They
I
can still do
still
something wrong.
default. I
Mhm.
still default to the idea that I have because it is the only way you can almost guarantee that nobody. And no, granted, what you're saying, 100% needs to happen. Increase the filter, squeeze it a little bit, invite only. Any
Right,
group post that, any event post that are put up, or any group invites that are put up, like if there's an event, a takeover, whatever going on, that shit is private. But the only way you can see it is if you're invited to the event.
right,
And the only way you can come is if you're one of the people that's invited. If somebody else wants to come, they have to go through and they're not in the group already, they have to go through the process to get approved for the group. It's going to be a bitch. It's going to be a pain in the ass. People are going to roll their eyes. It's going to be a lot of work. Oh my God. But the
mhm,
whole thing is, like I said, it is going to require, and this is why I say it's going to require a lot of manpower, which is going to require people to be willing to do the work. But for those that do the work, they will be the ones who have the patrons supporting their events because they know they come there, even though there's always still a small percentage because there's always somebody who will do it for the first time. And there's no way anybody could know until they do whatever they do, but it mitigates a high percentage of possible bad action
mhm.
by between the filters that you talk about and the committee with the database like I talked about. Those things will make it so that no matter how big the LS gets online, there will be it will be very hard, and it will also discourage a
Right.
lot of bad actors from wanting to come because they know that they are going to be. They don't. Nobody wants to be embarrassed to get kicked off the line when they walking in because they on that ban list right up there.
Right. I mean, it takes a lot
So,
of balls knowing that you've done stuff like this to show up in this space. That's
but when your mind is sick, listen. I'm gonna say this. It's 2025. There's so many ways to get pussy where you don't have to violate nobody. You could
right.
literally go get a massage and a happy ending, or even some of them I heard you could clap some cheeks. I don't know about that, but whatever.
You
Um,
speaking from experience?
th- no, I don't play that. I don't do that at all.
Okay.
Nah, I won't
All
do
right.
that.
I'm just
I did
asking.
I did a happy ending before. I won't lie. I tried it once, and I thought it was stupid, but nonetheless.
uh,
Um, but that aside, there's so many ways that if somebody their excuses, oh my god, I just was so horny, you can get some. These people are not doing this because they're horny. Like Joy
right.
said, it's not about
It's
sex.
about
It's a
control.
power.
Yeah.
It's about control.
Yeah.
It's about the fact that they have this sickness, and these people are sick.
Yes.
They have issues.
And you know what? I want to pause us for a second. We've been remiss
Hmm.
in not wishing the person that was victimized well healing. We hope that the person is physically safe, mentally, there. We spent a lot of time talking about the perpetrator, but I think we need to acknowledge that we do our thoughts and prayers and everything is with the person that was violated, and we hope that
Sorry, I came with fire and brimstone in my soul, but you're absolutely right.
yelling at me for like
Yes,
20 minutes.
yo, my bad, Joe. I just told you, like this
I
shit.
didn't do nothing. I wasn't
Listen,
there.
but all
It's a serious
seriousness,
It's a
we
serious
really
topic.
do wish the person who was victimized, we wish them well, and
Yes.
that they can get through this. However, whatever process they need to get through this,
Yeah.
we are all here as a support system for you, or whoever your friends are that are there to help you. You can go to them. Please do not try to deal with this alone.
Right.
Definitely get whatever help or whatever support system you need. And there's nothing but love out here and support out here for you. And we
Yeah.
wish you the best.
And yeah,
150%.
it's just terrible. It took an incident like this to galvanize everybody to come together. I'm really hopeful that the safety committee works. I hope that people have a new spirit of collaboration. You just see so much infighting, and it's like, for what? We're all here to have a good time. Let's work together and get it done and keep people safe.
Well, listen, I'm willing to, because I can't talk shit and not be willing to back it up.
Yeah.
I am willing to step out and be the first member to step onto this as a neutral party, as I'm not representing any group when I'm on this committee. I'm just representing myself as TSX, the social experiment.
Mhm.
Nova said that she's with it too. I asked
Okay.
her about it, and she asked because I wouldn't make this decision without her. Okay, she's my
Yeah.
teammate. You know what I'm saying? But Nova gave her blessing with this too. So we are willing to host this and make this thing happen. We'll do whatever it needs to happen. We need to sit down, have a Zoom meeting with us and whatever other group leaders are willing to do so. And we really need to make this happen. But listen, this will not happen if
Right.
y'all, as the patrons, are all excited about this now because it's a big topic and everybody's talking about it. Fucking KD's gonna trust me, he's gonna be flaming tomorrow. Um, and everybody's going to be talking about it, and then it's going to fade into obscurity as time goes by, and everybody goes back to their regular scheduled program until the next tragedy happens,
Yeah.
and it gets blasted. We cannot let this shit slide. Today has to be the last fucking day that this happens, and we don't do something moving forward. What do you think?
I agree. It seems like we have people like the idea. I'm looking at the comments.
I
I
see you
think
squinting at the comments.
I
You need your glasses, boo. You need to wear them shits.
definitely need glasses for
You can't be
sure.
like me. I got shades on. I can read all of this shit at the same time. You ain't got
Oh, is that why you
eyes
wear the
like me.
shades? That's why you wear the shades?
Yeah, these are shades.
No, I know that. I know they're shades. I'm saying because you're inside, so I was wondering why you had them on. But now that explains
Oh
it.
no, I wear them because I always look sleepy, so I hate the way I look on camera without the shades on. But
No, I think this is a step in the right direction. It seems like people really think it's a good idea. As long as things are transparent and collaborative, I don't see a downside to it. I'm
yes.
happy to join.
And the thing
I'll
is,
join.
and the best part of it is that ain't nobody could fucking bully my ass because I wish you would try. So that's another reason why I want to sit at this table too,
Right,
because I ain't gonna have that shit. I don't give a fuck who you think you is. I wish you would. This is about safety for
right,
everybody involved, ladies and gentlemen too,
right.
because gentlemen could get drugged and violated. Other things can
Oh,
happen.
absolutely.
They could get set up and robbed for all this shit. It's all happened.
Their
My,
consent can be violated too. It
yeah,
doesn't
they
even
can
have to
be
be all the way to
100%.
the other end of the spectrum of being drugged or robbed. I think a lot of times we
Sorry,
don't
I'm from the
a lot of times
hood.
we don't acknowledge that men have agency and they have to give consent as well. And so I know a few of my male friends in the lifestyle who say they constantly get their consent violated, and people treat them as if it shouldn't matter or they shouldn't speak up. So I think we have to be equally committed to protecting men and women in the space and making sure everybody's safe. For sure.
100%.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I'm taking this safety shit very seriously. Do you think I want to add another hat? If people that know me know how many things I'm involved with, if this didn't really matter to me, I would not be doing this shit because I really don't have the time. But I will make the time for this because there are too many people that I care about, even those that I don't know. I care about you as far as I want you to be safe. I want you to go to the event, and the only thing you go home with is a bunch of great memories and beautiful pictures in the safe places that you can take pictures. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you should be leaving these events with, not leaving it with trauma and leaving it with psychological damage and all this other stuff. I'm tired of all these broken motherfuckers that's out here because nobody is taking action. So
Right.
I am looking to take action.
Well, there's something else to
I need
consider.
y'all to hold them accountable to that. Go ahead.
There's something else for the committee to consider. Barry brings up a point. Hey, girl. She brings up a point about alcohol consumption. So you have these parties where it's like bring a bottle or bring liquor. No one's really monitoring how much people are drinking. No one's offering water. So let's talk about that.
I have a solution for that too. And some parties already do it. What you do is you do like you do at the clubs. You got to have a designated bar area,
Mm-hmm.
and you submit your bottles and you get your drinks from there. It's going to cost a little bit. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to keep it 100 with you, just giving you the logistics. If we got to hire bartenders at these events, that could jack the price up a little bit more. But you have to ask yourself because you have to cover the cost of the bartenders and stuff. So the question is going to be, again, the LS is a privilege. If you can't afford it, we understand. But the whole thing is that it's a matter of safety. What is the cost of your safety?
Right.
How much price do you put on your safety or the safety of those that you care about? And
Absolutely.
Izzy's right about at the hotel parties. Yeah, see, that was I was getting to that, Izzy. At the hotel parties is the one place where it'll be tricky because people will have bottles or something in their room. And then there's another factor too. People do other things other than drink.
Yeah.
They be having that booger sugar, those mushrooms,
Not the
that
booger sugar.
weed, the booger sugar. Listen, I don't judge. Listen,
Right.
eat, whatever. Listen, do what you, as long as you can control yourself, do what you want. I don't give a shit. But my whole thing is, it's a matter of having your recreational activities in a recreational level.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. When I host stuff, I do. Well, I'll call it water break. Hey, here goes some water. Here goes some water. Hey, how you doing? Here goes some water break. Yeah. I mean, I just
The
as
thing
easily, I'm
is,
probably pouring shots down people's throats too. But balance,
like you was at the party a couple of weeks ago.
balance. I gave you water too.
Yeah, you did get water, but you sure was coming in. I was like,
But I
yeah.
was keeping track of how much people were drinking. But it's
and
always
you
easier with
know,
a smaller when
and you
it's a
know,
smaller group.
as tall as you are, that shit is like a legit shot coming from on high into these
You
short ass people's mouths.
you did it. You did
Like,
it. You handled it. Everybody handled it fine.
yeah, I can handle it. Me and you ain't that far in height. I'm only a few inches taller than you.
Oh, and I have my
But
6-inch heels on. Yeah.
now, see what Barry is saying.
What's she saying now?
I would love to do that, but like I said again, it's hard to control it at a hotel. Which is like, I think it would be better to have a bar that holds your bottles and you have bracelets that give a
Yeah.
number minimum within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
I understand it, but my whole thing is that again, people are gonna have shit in their rooms. There's no way we can supervise an entire thing. Which is why I say first things first. This is not gonna be an instant fix process. But the easiest thing to fix first is number one, to form this committee, create a succinct database that everybody has access to for people that are banned or any other information that's prominent to the community as a whole. And the next step would be workshopping ideas to improve the quality of service to the different events in the community
Right.
because you customers are spending a lot of money on these events. You're getting costumes for themes, hair done, nails did, everything did, waxes, haircuts, manicures, all type of shit is happening. And for all the effort that you're putting out, you got to ask yourself, what do you deserve?
Right.
You got to be willing to pay for quality though. Because with quality, with all of this extra security and everything, like I said, it's going to cost the event promoters more, which might change the prices on certain things.
But it's table stakes at that point.
Huh?
And I have a comment on the bar real quick. So sometimes I think too we need to understand that you you do things for optics sometimes, a part of it, right? Like, yes, we can't control if people are taking recreational drugs or they have liquor in their room. But if people know that they're coming to an event and there's a dedicated bartender that's serving drinks and monitoring drinks, that's a different mindset than there not being any type of control, right? Because they know, and then the bartender can monitor, like, I don't know where you got them drinks from, but you're a little overserved, so take a break or something. So yes, it won't solve the problem of people's consumption totally, but sometimes you have to put things in place so people, their mental model shifts once they're in the space. You know what I mean? So
I would say that many, if you've got that many people, let's say you got about 300 people in a hotel. That means you're going to need probably about at least 6 to 8 bartenders working in there to keep everything moving smoothly, to keep it from being a mess as far as logistics. But that's stuff that can be haggled on in
yeah,
a committee actual meeting.
yeah.
Here's the thing, and this is the part. Like I said, and see, Izzy said it a couple of comments ago. I just want to because yeah, it's still hard to monitor the consumption in the hotels. But like you said, we need to also not just sex offenders need. Oh damn, I said the word. God damn it. Anyway, not just offenders need to be removed when they are violating females or males or whoever. Also, people that are known to get totally wasted and shit faced at events, they have to understand, and I've seen a couple of y'all comment that too. If they are the type that are drinking or getting high or whatever to the point where they are not manageable, then they also need to be banned from these events and not be allowed to come to nothing because they're a problem child. Those are also people you put on the ban list. The ban list ain't just, oh no, I just Mel Scott. I can't say that word because YouTube's funny with stuff like that. That's why I didn't mean to say that. But yeah. Anyway, so
Well, how preemptive should this ban list be? So you
it's
have
a matter
someone.
of like people like these individual group owners
Mm-hmm.
have revealed that they have people that are on their ban list. What they need to do is share it with the class so we can all know all the
Right,
people that's on your ban because we only know of this person because we made a whole big thing about it.
right.
But there are other people who are still sitting on these lists right now that all of us are not privy to.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody needs to know from here, from the East Coast to the West Coast, they all need to know. Because this way, no matter what's going on, they will not be allowed to come. If there's a Hito trip, they won't be allowed to come. I will even let the people know in the tall group that isn't even LS, but they go down to Hito or whatever sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm talking about Frandy and them. What you call it?
Yep.
Yeah. Um, but I will even pass that on to them so they know. Don't let him come to nothing because he's a mess.
Right.
Whoever he or she may be.
Right.
People that are known, anybody that creates problems for our community, fighting, getting inebriated to the point of unmanageability, obviously people who are violating somebody's body or whatever the case else, anybody that is doing any of these offenses will be kicked out of our community and put on the ban list, and nobody's letting them in.
Okay, so when we
Period.
launching? When we launching, Maximus?
Huh?
When are we launching?
We are going to talk about that offline.
Okay.
But no, because we have to actually get the logistics and stuff in place. I'm probably gonna look and create a website for it, and I'll have somebody build it, and that can be a place where things get set up. I got to give them logistics as far as what exactly is needed because they have to have functionality for Zoom and stuff like that. So this way we can like sit there, do a conference, and it'll have its own database and all that stuff where all the band list names will be. And it is everybody's responsibility in the committee to make sure that we hold the other members accountable to
Right.
utilizing the lists that are provided. And if they do not utilize these lists, then they are kicked off the committee. And if they're kicked off the committee, you as patrons need to recognize that they are no longer there, as there will be announcements. And in these said announcements, if somebody is kicked off the committee, it won't be because you don't get along. I don't give a fuck if y'all are fucking enemies of each other. This is about safety. This is above that. If you want to make money in this community, then you're going to respect the safety of us as members of this community, or you will not operate in this community. And if you don't like it, then go fuck yourself.
Well then, that's quite the note to end on.
That's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Let's do it.
No, but I'm serious. I'm not gonna do this by myself. I'm gonna need help.
Yes.
Anybody that's open to help me, please help me.
I will
help
help
me,
you.
please. Thank
Yes, you need a little help.
Oh, I need a lot of help. I said
And like we can start with a spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be super high tech to start. It can always evolve and get better. Just starting matters. That's it.
Yeah. Because this is very important. And we also need the members from the other parts of this country that aren't watching this right now to be aware of this too, because this person is known to travel to other locations where he feels like people don't know him, and then he goes and does the same shit.
And he's not the only one, right?
And he's not the only one,
right?
But we just make I don't care. I'm making an example out of him because fuck him. I said it.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, you got anything else? Because we ain't got to drag this for another half hour.
No, I think it was a good discussion. We talked about lots of different ideas on how to keep the community safe. But it really starts with what you said, a commitment by organizers, hosts, and patrons to be safe and perpetuate safety. So let's get the committee going and be the change that we want to see. Right?
Yes.
We're supposed to be doing.
And no taking bribes to let anybody slide either. But we're gonna have a code of ethics so that this thing is up there and everybody understands the way it's gonna work. Because we ain't gonna be doing all this crooked shit either. Because I already know how that goes. You know, people start saying, "Oh, just let me slide," and nah.
Yeah.
Yes, and Queen will definitely be kicking my ass, so y'all know it's gonna be done right.
Oh yes, I don't have tolerance for raggedy stuff.
Oh, I know you have zero tolerance for bullshit. Actually, Queen is very organized. Like she's very. I think you have OCD.
Perhaps. Damn, why you put my business out there?
It's all good, man. Listen, I have ADD. You got OCD, so somewhere in the middle.
We folded this towel about 4 times while we were talking. Leave me alone.
Yo, if you lucky, I'm not the one married to you. If I was, I'd be the kind of person that would just turn every can slightly, like 45 degrees.
Oh,
In
you
the
choose violence. Okay, so you
I
want your
choose
kneecaps
violence.
busted. Okay, so you want your kneecaps busted in the middle of the night.
I just gave him an idea, but don't follow it because she might. I don't want to be meeting you at the crossroads.
Exactly, exactly. Well, we hope Nova feels better. Thanks for letting me
Yes,
fill in. And we, said, that we need to say about the situation. We also
yes.
wish the host well. That's traumatic as well, going through that and knowing something happened associated
Hmm.
with something that you organized. So my thoughts go out to them also. And I hope that they're able to recover well and, craft their
It's so
next step.
politically good. You're so good with this political stuff. Anyway, she's not just hot, but she's fucking brilliant too. But anyway,
When you let me talk,
um,
right?
huh?
I
My
said,
bad. Go
yeah,
ahead.
when you let me talk.
I was shutting up so you could talk, and then you
Oh,
got quiet.
I said it all. I said it all.
Okay. No, but and like I said, just in closing, again, it is very important. If you really are serious about, because I'm dead ass serious about this. What's today? April 8th, 2025.
Yep.
I am very serious about this. Um, for my girlfriends, y'all better not let me slack on this, please. And please, Queen, kick my ass. I give you permission to give me the almighty spin kick to make sure that I don't get distracted. Because I told you I have AD, I have ADD. My brain will automatically go that way. So I really want this to happen. And patrons, you have to speak with your wallet. If they do not make this effort to make this happen, do not fucking patronize them until they make it. Put the pressure on them because your attitude is, I want to feel safe. And I do not feel safe. This community is too big now for us not to have some organization. It's big, but it's small at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Exactly.
like I said, all that being said, please, y'all, everybody, until then, everybody stay safe and keep your minds aware and share information, y'all.
Yes.
One community. One community. Peace out.
Good night.
Good night.